Hello, my name is Ben Randolph. I'm here to advocate for our nation's youth. I work with elementary and secondary education students. Continually, I'm hearing the same reports as they get closer to graduating. They tell me they're not ready to enter the job market. They're not prepared to be competitive. We see the same sentiment coming from the leaders of industry across multiple areas. That they're not hiring high school students right off the bat. Why is that? What is going on? Is there something that we're missing? Is there something that's not happening right? Are we seeing this reflected in the literature? So looking back at a 1995 Trends in International Math and Science study shows that fourth graders were on par internationally in science, but scored lower in mathematics than 11 other countries. While this is by itself alarming, what we're also seeing is in 8th grade they're scoring even lower in both math and science. In 1995 and 1999, the Trends in International Math and Science studies to show that negative education happening from 4th to 8th grade. So this, coupled with a 2000 Farmer report of race groups in studies in math, being that 79% of 4th graders tested of white students were proficient at a 4th grade level, 37% of their black peers were proficient at a 4th grade level, and 46% of their Hispanic peers were proficient at a 4th grade math level. Numbers in reading for that Farmer study goes down. 72% of the white students tested were proficient in reading, 35% of their black peers proficient in reading levels at a 4th grade level, and 41% of the Hispanic peers were proficient at a reading level. Again, alarming. We look back at 1998 and compare those with the 2000 study, and we see that the numbers have even gone down. So here we are in race groups going down at proficiency levels. We're looking at lower than 50% proficiency levels in some of those groups, and not much higher than 3/4 proficient in even the top performers. So very alarming. Here we are in one of the world's greatest empires, and we are failing our nation's youth. We are not providing well for our future by turning out students that are not performing well. So one of the things we've looked at is the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, enacted under President Johnson. President Johnson gave money to local school districts. We didn't see much return for that money. It wasn't very targeted, and lower income students were expected to perform better in these areas that received money, and that just didn't happen. What we'd like to do is see targeted standardized tests. We'd like to target students. We'd like to target the teachers and be able to show performance, show a change in performance. I think any company needs to show that. Any new policies implemented, any money spent needs to show positive performance. And what we're putting forth is the No Child Left Behind Act, 2001, and what this does is provide money to local school districts to develop and implement standardized testing, set baseline levels, and then test in the future to see what progress has been made, and if any. And what we're hoping to see is teachers stepping up, getting out behind that cover of tenure, and performing up to the level that we'd like to see them at. And this is one way to do that. One of the things we'd like to put out there is that we don't feel that this is overstepping the federal government's bounds into state education at all. The states are able to pick their own testing levels and set their own testing levels and implement their own testing devices as well, with the federal government just providing the funds to do that and then overseeing the program. We'd like to see by 2014 100% efficiency levels, proficiency levels done in this manner. And we think that's a reasonable goal. We don't think that asking 8th graders to test at an 8th grade level is unreasonable. We don't think that asking for high quality teachers in the classroom is unreasonable at all. We find, as many studies do, and Beaver did in 2005, that one of the best indicators of performance increases is high quality teachers in class, and we agree with that. So that's why we're here today supporting the No Child Left Behind Act.